am Jaquinda Jackson, and I am a trauma therapist.
How are you? I feel like I want her to say
doctor. Like, we gotta put emphasis on that doctor.
I am Dr. Jaquinda Jackson, and I'm a trauma therapist. It's just really my life experiences as a child growing up and knowing where I was. I didn't want to be there. So I got lost in books, and when I got to college, I had no earthly idea what I was gonna major in. And my professor pulled me to the side and was like, "What do you like to do?" And I was like, I like to be with people. I like to talk to people. So I majored in sociology, and it took off from there. One simple thing that people can do is take breaks away from social media. Social media has a way to cloud our judgment, but on the flip side of that, people only post what they want you to see. So it creates like this false sense of reality. But if we take time away from social media, and not saying that you cannot use it, but being very intentional about spending time with people who are close to you or in close proximity with you and being present in the moment, will allow you to not only feel your feelings, but be able to share empathy with other people. My first role model was Oprah.
why?
Yeah, why?
Damn, Scoop.
That's how he said it. He said it.
Like, you don't like her?
This is a safe space.
Thank you. So the reason why Oprah is my first role model is because my mom used to clean houses, and when I would go with her to clean houses, Oprah would be on, and she would interview any and everybody, but she also too looked like me, and I knew if Oprah could do it, I could eventually do it. Love and Basketball is my favorite movie.
Ooh.
Hands down. Hands down. Hands down.
Worst love story anyway.
From a therapist standpoint, Quincy was more toxic. No, I like hood music.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like trap music. Meek Mill is my favorite. Dreams and Nightmares is my favorite Meek Mill. That's my go-to. Because how I hear dreams and nightmares is the balance in which we try to figure out in life, and that there will be very high highs, but also too very low lows, and we have to be able to manage the low lows in order to appreciate our high highs. What I see now in athletes, and this is from Little League on up, is just the need to like go, and always be on like performance level. And the reality of it is that, I mean, you can't live like that. And it creates this internal anxiety for a lot of athletes, a lot of young children. I would like to see that we see beyond the athlete, meaning we see beyond what they do, but that we equip them to have social skills, create spaces where they can process through feelings and emotions, because this day and time is very like heavy, and to go out and have to play a game or go to practice after hearing on the news that there was like a mass shooting is so in itself toxic, because we have this expectation that like this event happened, but you still have to go play. Athletes are human beings too, and they should have a space to not only feel their feelings, but share and take care of themselves first. From a coach's standpoint, I see they need these athletes to perform. I mean, it's a job for them, and if they don't perform, then they lose their job, which financial stability is what we all strive for. So in striving for that, oftentimes coaches will neglect their athletes' needs or their players' needs in order for them to go out and perform, which creates the toxic culture. So what I give to my athletes, we always go over breathing techniques. I think to settle ourselves internally, we have to be able to control our breathing. So breathing techniques, but also too, I'm a music head. A lot of my clients know that. So I encourage them to be intentional about creating certain playlists. So if you know that you have a game on Saturday, being intentional about creating music that makes you feel good so that it will help you to perform, not only perform, but put you in a place that you are able to effectively perform. So what I am holding, this is actually a gift from my husband. But I use this in my private practice, in which it's a screening tool to assess children who have experienced any type of trauma. And oftentimes, if the child sees the scary face, 2 eyes here, the nose and the mouth, lets me know that there's some instability, they're unstable, and there is some anxiety around the caregivers. But if a child says, I see the man who has his head in his hand sitting cross or crisscross applesauce, that lets me know that they are secure and that they are safe, and the caregivers that they stay with provide some type of safety for them. We break that stigma by normalizing it, which we have to start having conversations, because oftentimes too, people will say to me like, oh, I don't need therapy, my mental health is good, or I don't have issues. And I'm like, mental health is a part of your life. Like, it should be something that is checked daily. But we normalize it by making it a part of conversations, by leagues making mental health like a priority, even if it's just through like screening tools. A lot of mental health issues or triggers can be assessed early on, so then you can develop a proactive treatment plan. But we don't treat mental health like we treat physical health. Because if you say, like, my arm's hurting or my stomach hurting, first thing somebody's gonna say, oh, you need to go to the doctor. But when you say, I'm not feeling like I'm sad and I don't know why I'm sad, or I feel funny and I don't know why, people are like, oh, like they'll either ignore you or they'll, being in the South, oh, you need to go to church. So we need to normalize mental health just like we normalize physical health. So I know I have found my purpose, but I haven't reached my full purpose potential. My full purpose potential is to work with those not only in leadership, but those who have access and decision making, because how we shift, how we view mental health starts from the top and trickles down to the bottom. Mental health is not a bad thing. We all have something that we need to work on. I am Dr. Jaquinda Jackson. I am a trauma therapist. I work with athletes as well as community partners to provide trauma-informed training as well as individual trauma care. And this is my purpose to be heard.